Anthony Joshua and Floyd Mayweather have been, friends, acquaintances for a while. I guess Ty and Booth would describe it as little fake mates. They've been little fake mates for a while. And to me, it kind of makes sense because at first, people were wondering why Floyd Mayweather seemed to take a liking to Anthony Joshua over his countryman Deontay Wilder. What's that all about? And Wilder wasn't happy with that. But a lot of the time, it's just about personality. Floyd Mayweather has a much more similar personality to Anthony Joshua than he does to Deontay Wilder. I know some people are going to say, what? That doesn't make sense. Man, what are you talking about? Floyd Mayweather's a trash talker and he's bold and arrogant, and that's more like Wilder. No. Mayweather's demeanor is actually quite dry. He's not someone who's emotional the way that Deontay Wilder is, always getting upset and shouting and screaming and his blood pressure going through the roof. That's not Mayweather. Mayweather's a more cool, calm type of character, calculated kind of character. And I think there's a certain simpatico there because they see similarities in each other in terms of the personality. Yeah, the demeanor is quite similar. AJ doesn't trash talk the way that Mayweather did. AJ doesn't behave in such a vulgar way like Mayweather. But Mayweather created that character, and it's part of who he is. It's not like it's a completely fake character that's the total opposite to who he is in real life. No, it's an aspect of his personality. But he brought that aspect of his personality to the forefront because he knew it could sell his fights and it could sell his brand. But if you ever listen to Floyd Mayweather talk, he's not a particularly colorful or charismatic person. He's very dry and kind of calm and whatever in his demeanor. And that's similar to Anthony Joshua. Joshua also is not very charismatic. He's decided to go the PC route, which is different to Mayweather. But part of that is probably because AJ is British. British people don't take to the flashiness and the, gaudy jewelry and all this kind of business, being overtly materialistic and boastful. British people don't tend to take to that as well as Americans do. Okay. So if AJ was American, he may well be a lot more flashy and bold and all that kind of thing. I'm not saying he would be on the same level as Mayweather with it, but he may be more that way because the environment, I don't want to say demands that kind of thing, but that works in terms of selling yourself in America more than it does in Britain. So, yeah, I see a lot of similarity in the demeanor, in the mindset of AJ and Floyd Mayweather. And I think that's why they're becoming little fake mates, however you want to describe it. And again, I come back to the charisma. I'm not trying to disrespect either guy. I'm just being descriptive. Mayweather doesn't really have much charisma and AJ is the same. I think Mayweather probably compensates for his lack of charisma by being, I think this is another reason why he does all the flashy, arrogant, vulgar stuff, because he understands that he doesn't have the charisma that other fighters have, And we want to talk about charisma. Muhammad Ali had charisma. He didn't need to have jewelry and this, that, and the other to be funny and to captivate the audience whenever he was talking. He had real charisma. Tyson Fury has got charisma, way more than Anthony Joshua or Floyd Mayweather. You see, there's a difference between just being an arrogant guy and being charismatic. Tyson Fury is charismatic. Floyd Mayweather is just arrogant. There's no charisma. It's kind of like James DeGale. Don't mean to pick on him again. But DeGale was very cocky and outspoken, but he didn't have charisma. That there's something, an X factor, an intangible that some people just have that captivates everybody around them, captivates the audience. They just become likable somehow. Even if they seem to the conscious mind like they shouldn't be likable, there's just something about them that's likable to people. AJ and Mayweather don't have that in terms of their personality. People like their ability. Maybe people like what they represent. But they don't light up the room whenever they step in and start talking. I know Dwyer always talks about AJ's charisma. maybe he means in a broader sense in terms of what AJ represents and what he's done. But when the guy speaks, when he steps in a room, he's not particularly interesting or charismatic. But he's definitely a thinker. He's definitely somebody who sees himself as a student of the game, who wants to become better. And one of the things as well is I think he figuratively, not literally, looks up to Floyd Mayweather because of Mayweather's success. And I noticed this even before the Joseph Parker fight. He was spending some time with Mayweather and whatnot. So Mayweather definitely likes the fact that the heavyweight champion of the world is coming to him for advice, coming to him and, looking up to him. Mayweather likes that. So I think that also plays in to why there's this simpatico between the two. So anyway, just a brief video on my thoughts about the bromance, the little fake mates situation of AJ and Mayweather.